when I was done with film school, I was on a few sets, and a lot of the people that I was working with, they told me that that's how you actually how you become a director. You have to you start at the bottom and then you work your way up. So I agreed with that part, especially with like the aspects with like learning how to work the camera, how to work the lights, how to just see how the whole production actually comes together. But in order to actually be recognized as a director, you have to actually shoot your own movies. So at the beginning of 2023, I had nothing really going on. I had no jobs in the film world. I had no real prospects. So I decided to actually work as a GP, a general practitioner, and pretty much just fund my own movie. And I actually thought that I was going to be doing it alone. And I actually got a message from Pikes early on in January, and he told me that he wants to go on a project, and the other producer Kwanda is also keen on it.
We just finished I just finished a course in the film industry, and I decided that why should I be sitting around with the knowledge that I gained. I reached out to like-minded guys that were hungry, that wanted to make a name for themselves, like I did, like I do.
Coming off as a film graduate, it was definitely a must for me to fulfill what I had studied. But I had decided to come on board on this one because I could sense the freedom that was there in order to make this work. You know, there was always pressure, you know, for this to work, but I didn't necessarily feel any pressure as it would have been if I had a different team that I was working with.
I knew that we didn't have a good budget. We had a very small budget, and because we had a small budget, we could only shoot on one location. So I wrote Wilting of the Blood Orchid for a short film to be shot on a single location in a very short amount of time. And we actually managed to pull it off. So I think, yeah, I did it to make my mark in the film world.
Yeah, that's why I brought the team together, and yeah, we made this amazing film.
I think the most challenging aspect was being a first-time filmmaker. Going on set now, there were a few people that were experienced in the industry. Now, of course, you have to handle people's egos, you have to handle people's emotions. And I think that was the most challenging aspect, because one person, how they react to how you direct in a certain way, another person won't react in that particular way. So I had to cater all of my direction on just that particular individual. So, for example, when I was directing James with one of the like when he was dying, and I showed him how to actually do it, and how he like took it all in, and then he brought it all out when we were actually on set. And then when I had to maybe speak to Chante with her acting and tell her how she should actually go about it, then we'll have discussions on how she actually thinks it's better. So it's more of you have a vision in your head, and it doesn't work out exactly how you plan it to work out. So you have to, that's why the collaboration for me was actually quite difficult at the beginning, because I have a vision, but for certain aspects, when I was actually directing and they performed, when I first watched it when we were on set, I didn't agree with it. But then when I was in post-production and we were in the editing room and I was actually watching it and how the character actually unfolds, it actually made more sense with what the actors were actually doing. They actually had their own individual story that they put with the characters. So that over there was something that was new to me, because just going in, you feel that you're the only one that has this vision over here, but everyone else has their own vision, and you have to allow all of those pieces to actually come together.
Well, I think for me the most challenging aspect is that it's that thing of the label as producer. It's it's in small productions like ours. Being a producer is not necessarily such a big thing like you would find in your Hollywood movies and so on, but it's still quite a significant role, and therefore I was just always thinking. I was always thinking, and I was always concerned because I just wanted to see the thing come to life. I wanted to see it work, and I wanted to see it. As a final picture, and it was just stressful to always think of how could this thing fail, how can we possibly go wrong, where will we go wrong, but it was just not the case, I would say. And the reason why I those feelings for me were even amplified is that, yeah, sure, there's this thing going around where that's our producer, but then I every day I look around on set and everyone is just so busy. Everyone is so busy working hard with something, and it seems like my job is a bit more relaxed. But it was very stressful because so much work had been done for pre-production to organize things, working hand to hand with our director. And so yeah, there was just no ways it could fail. But somehow I was just conflicted. I was just filled with all these thoughts of like, where will we possibly go wrong? How can this thing go wrong? But I'm happy that things went well. It wasn't necessarily a smooth sail, but it went well.